Well, I hope that you have all been enjoying your Christmas break and that your vacation so far has been restful and filled with a lot of fun. I had mentioned that I was going to put some tutorials in Google Classroom that you could use to get extra credit in math and help you to stay fresh with working with fractions. This particular tutorial is going to look at subtracting mixed numbers. And we did this in class several weeks before Christmas break. And just as a reminder, we start by first taking the mixed number, changing it to an improper fraction, find the common denominator, make equivalent fractions, and then subtract. So the first step is we're going to be changing our mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 4 and 1/2 is a mixed number. As an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 is 9. And I have 9/2 as my improper fraction for 4 and 1/2. Then I've got 1 2/3 as a mixed number. Well, 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So I have 5/3. Notice the denominators have not changed. So I have 2 as a denominator with my mixed number. I have 2 as a denominator with my improper fraction. I have 3 as a denominator with my mixed number, and I still have 3 as a denominator with my improper fraction. So now my next step is to find a common denominator. So common denominator is the same thing as least common multiple. So I'm going to think of my 2 table, I'm going to think of my 3 table, and I'm going to find the first multiple of 2 and 3 that they both share. Well, I'm going to think that 6 is in the 2 table, 6 is also in the 3 table. So 6 is my least common multiple. Now I'm going to find that big 1. Remember, where numerator and denominator are the same, so I can make my equivalent fractions. So if 6 is my least common multiple, 3 times 2 is 6. So I'm going to multiply my improper fraction by 2/3. And looking at this improper fraction, 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to multiply this improper fraction by 3/3 to get my equivalent fractions. 5 times 2 is 10, 3 times 2 is 6, 10/6 is my equivalent fraction. 2 times 3 is 6, 9 times 3 is 27, 27/6 is my equivalent fraction. Now that I have common denominators, I can subtract. 27 subtract 10 is 17/6. That's an improper fraction. I cannot leave it as an improper fraction, so I'm going to divide 6 into 17, and I'm going to get 2 and 5/6 as the difference of my 2 mixed numbers. Nice. So now I'm going to come over to 12 and 2/3 and 9 and 3/7. And again, my first step is to change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 12 times 3 is 36, plus 2 is 38/3. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 3 is 66/7. Now that I have my improper fractions, I need to find a common denominator. So again, I'm going to think of my 3 table, I'm going to think of my 7 table, and I'm going to find the first multiple that 3 and 7 share. Well, that multiple is 21. I'm going to find the big 1 that I'm going to use to make my equivalent fractions. 7 times 3 is 21, so I'm going to multiply by 3/3. 3 times 7 is 21, so I'm going to multiply by 7/7. So when I multiply 66/7 by 3/3, I get 198/21. When I multiply 38/3 by 7/7, I get 266/21. Subtracting, I get 68 over 21, or 68 21sts. Again, 68 over 21 or 68 21st is an improper fraction. I cannot leave it that way. So I'm going to divide 21 into 68, and I get 3 and 5 21sts as the difference of my two mixed numbers. Let's try the next one. Remember, the first step is change to an improper fraction. 10 times 5 is 50, plus 2 is 52 fifths. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 3 is 35 fourths. Notice I have not found a common denominator yet. So I'm thinking of my 5 table, I'm thinking of my 4 table, and the first multiple that they both share is 20. So now I know that 4 times 5 is 20. That means I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by 5 fifths. 5 times 4 is 20, so that means I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by 4 fourths to get my equivalent fractions. And now I can subtract. And when I subtract 208 and 175, I get 33 twentieths. Well, again, improper fraction, so I need to divide 20 into 33, and I'm going to get 1 and 13 twentieths. So the difference of 10 and 2 fifths and 8 and 3 fourths is 1 and 13 twentieths. Nice. Now, 25 and 3 fourths, subtract 12 and 2 fifths. Again, change to improper fractions. So I've got 103 fourths, and I've got 62 fifths. Well, if you're looking at 4 and 5 as denominators and 5 and 4 as denominators, you've already realized my common denominator is going to be 20. And when I make equivalent fractions, I'm going to have 515 twentieths and 248 twentieths. When I subtract, I'm going to have 267 twentieths. When I divide to find my answer, I've got 13 and 7 twentieths. Very nice. Now, I'm going to have you work on these here. And you're going to put your answers for each one right into Edpuzzle. Work them out, paper and pencil, and then you're going to respond to or put in your answers for 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Edpuzzle. Okay, so good luck, and I will see you in about a week. Bye for now.